What up, y'all? It's your man SamAnt here at Viral Hip Hop News, and we are live on this beautiful Sunday evening. God damn, I feel good to be in the building this evening with all of you. Got a great interview coming this afternoon, this evening, wherever you may be, with my brother Crown Vega out of Memphis, Tennessee. Gonna have him on in a little bit. We're gonna play some of this brother's music, and we're gonna have a good goddamn time. So what I need y'all to do, like we always do, hit that like button, subscribe, drop them area codes in the chat. Let me know where y'all listening from. Let me know where y'all watching from. And of course, show this brother some support. Now, he's on the platform. You know what I'm saying? He's on this artist spotlight this afternoon, this evening, but that don't mean this brother ain't super dope. I got a chance to chop it up with him out in Charlotte, North Carolina a couple months ago, and we're part of a real cool networking circle. We've been chopping it up for a little over 6-7 months now, man. So I can't wait to get to know this brother more, Crown Vega. Gonna bring him on the show momentarily. But before we do, we're going to play some goddamn music. And before we do that, we're going to shout some people out. So what's good? Alabama is in the building. Stand up. You see the brother Clarence, follow suit. Drop them area codes. Let me know where you're listening. Let me know where you're watching. We got a treat for y'all this evening. Now, what I'm doing here is an artist spotlight for all independent artists, entrepreneurs. If you have a brand or a product, or if you're an artist, independent artist, you want to promote your stuff on my platform, I give you an avenue and an opportunity to do so. It's a great opportunity. It's a great hustle. I do this because you see the number of independent artists out here and the trials and tribulations that they have to go through trying to get on radio or trying to get this interview or that interview. I'm blessed enough to have a little bit of a following to where I can have an opportunity to give people and have them show their music, show their work. And if they got all their paperwork together, grab some streams in the process. So this is what we're doing. South Carolina, what's good with you? From Mississippi to NYC, what up with you? What up with you? All right, man, we got some people in the building. Y'all keep hitting that like button, keep showing that support. Definitely appreciate you. But right now, we're going to get to one of my brother's songs. Hey, man, let's get it popping. What trap?
Paul Hall. Paul Hall. Paul Hall. Yes, sir. Oh, the hood behind me, cause I'm real and a ball hog. She crazy about me, love the way I flex and ball hog. Busters Indians because they know I ball hog. They wanna copy, cut, and paste the way I ball hog. I'm on the money mission, so I gotta ball hog. It ain't no stopping my grind, I'm a ball hog. Killing the competition, all I know is ball hog. They wanna copy, cut, and paste the way I ball hog. Ghetto figures straight out the hood. Got about 100 gangsters with me and we up to no good. Keep the banker on me just in case I'm misunderstood. And if you want me, choosing on me, I'm giving a wood. The definition of a ball hog, I'm out to get it all. Run to the max, homie, no taking a loss. If you don't want a flat line, I'm the figure, not the draw. That's the jizz, not the test to see who got the bigger ball. DBS pressing up against a wood grain wheel. Sucker, see me shining, envious is how they feel. Live every day like it's my last, I just got one life to live. And when I go, just let them know I was a hog and kept it real. The hood behind me, cause I'm real and a ball hog. She crazy about me, love the way I flex and ball hog. Busters Indians because they know I ball hog. They wanna copy, cut, and paste the way I ball hog. I'm on the money mission, so I gotta ball hog. It ain't no stopping my grind, I'm a ball hog. Killing the competition, all I know is ball hog. They wanna copy, cut, and paste the way I ball hog. If it don't make dollars, you're talking nonsense. Say your clout thicker than mine, you must be speaking past tense. I'm jet plane high, Starship Enterprise, fly long jumping past dumbest, quantum leaping stupid guys. This game the same as a pig pen, so call me a hog. Greyhound chasing the paper, you just call me a dog. My grind is limitless, that means that I want it all. I ain't come here to play so any games, I bring to a hall. And VIP pop all the bottles with a grip on all the models. Crank it up like no tomorrow, and get money is a motto. You can join it or hate, I'm gon' tap it either way. Moving these suckers out my way, if you hogging, you can relate. The hood behind me, cause I'm real and a ball hog. She crazy about me, love the way I flex and ball hog. Busters Indians because they know I ball hog. They wanna copy, cut, and paste the way I ball hog. I'm on the money mission, so I gotta ball hard. It ain't no stopping my grind, I'm a ball hard. Killing the competition, all I know is ball hard. They wanna copy, cut, and paste the way I ball hard. Settle for a loss or draw, I only know how to win. Hustle hard out here for real, while other suckers pretend. Getting in ridiculous like a hog in a pen. Eating everything similar to me and their presidents. Also working with the hustle, rain, sleet, snow, or sunny. Like a magnet to metal, attract pretty women and money. If you leave your girl around me and you want her, you a dummy. I'm a burn, she the beehive, I'm after the honey. She love my fresh jewel shining on my chest, and if I let the bank flex, she going down. Shipwreck, I run through them while you grin with envy. Shrek, so busy ball hogging, I care less who got next. The hood behind me, cause I'm real and a ball hog. She crazy about me, love the way I flex and ball hog. Brothers Indians because they know I ball hog. They wanna copy, cut, and paste the way I ball hog. I'm on the money mission, so I gotta ball hog. It ain't no stopping my grind, I'm a ball hog. Killing the competition, all I know is ball hog. They wanna copy, cut, and paste the way I ball hog. Ball hog. Ball hog. Ball hog. Ball hog.
In the building live with my man, Crown Vega. What up with you, man? How you feeling, brother?
Live stream.
Yo, can you hear me, brother? Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. How am I hearing? Can you hear me in the building? Okay. Can you hear me now? What we got going on in the building? Let me see. Check 1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me? I can't hear you either. Hold on, we're gonna get this together. Check 1 2. What is going on? Check 1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me in the building? Can y'all hear me? Okay, y'all can hear me. Good. Crown, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Okay, he might have had some technical difficulties, but we in the building right now. Everybody can hear me good. Okay, I'm getting an okay that y'all can hear me good. Y'all can hear me straight. Thank you very much. Having a little technical difficulty right now, but we're going to get the brother Crown back in the building, man. I can't wait to talk to this man out of Memphis, Tennessee. Like I said, I got an opportunity to chop it up with him out in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Cookout. My man D-Bot's throwing an incredible event, and we did our goddamn thing, man. I got my brother Crown back in the building. Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, man, loud and clear, bro.
Good, man. The devil's working today, man, but we're going to get this shit rocking and we're going to keep it pumping because we got some good goddamn things. Got some good conversation to have. How you feeling, old man?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. Got things going in motion, man. Things rolling. In spite of the technical difficulties, but when you're doing great things, it's when the devil get busy, man.
Absolutely. And we're going to keep fucking working. We're going to keep defeating that motherfucker at all costs, man, because we in the building. Like I told you guys, we got my brother Crown Vega on the show this evening out of Memphis, Tennessee, man. So for people who don't know you, man, and they're starting to get an introduction to who you are, I want you to give a little introduction of yourself and let the people know who you are, where you from, and what you got going on.
I bet, man. So, Crown Vega, here out of Memphis, Tennessee, artist, writer, producer, engineer. Been really doing this for quite a while, man. I got 15 plus years in the game. Worked with several local talent. My guy's Archangel as mixing engineer for his project, and I took the back seat for a while, and just getting back into it, man. And I got my album Vega out on all platforms right now, and I'm working on a new project. And then I'm also featured artist on the Cookout mixtape 2022, and just really right now, man, supporting the artists that I work for and work with. Some of the local artists, like I say, my homegirl Trina Michelle, Trez Clay, Archangel, Bishop the Butcher, my guy Capo Bump. It's all talent out of Memphis, R&B and hip hop, and they go just as hard as I do.
Dope, man. I can't wait to talk about all of that, man, because I got like an opportunity to chop it up with you out in Charlotte, North Carolina for the Cookout. And we will talk about what the Cookout is exactly, man. But the one thing I appreciated about you was your versatility. Like, for the people who don't know, it was like a music conference, and there was 3 working studios going on, and it was absolute fucking madness. You had some of the best talent around this country in the studio singing, rapping. It was very, very high volume. If you weren't used to that kind of environment, it could be very, very intimidating for you. But one thing I saw about this brother in particular, any room that he went in, he fit in like a chameleon. He went in there and got his vibe on, adapted to the environment, and did his motherfucking thing, man. So I appreciate your artistry. I appreciate your hard work. Now, I was reading your bio, man. It says that you were raised by your grandma out in Memphis, Tennessee, man. So talk about a little bit of your upbringing, man, how you grew up and how Memphis in the Memphis culture and the music kind of influence what you got going on right now.
Oh man, it was a great influence. So, like I said, my grandmother, she reared me up until I was 13, and she stayed in the hood of South Memphis, Mississippi and Crump area. For those that listening in that may be familiar with that area, and as a young kid, man, she would take me downtown and to Handy Park, and you would hear the live musician players. I mean, Memphis itself is home of the blues, birthplace of rock and roll, and also a home of soul music. Man, you got the historic and the legendary Royal Studios is here in Memphis, Tennessee, where, a lot of hits like from Al Green, all of his music was recorded here, as well as Ann Peebles, the song I Can't Stand the Rain. And you know how many times that's been sampled and utilized in hip hop alone. And seeing that, and then of course, talent such as 8Ball and MJG, 3 6 Mafia, Gangsta Pat, Tommy Wright III, got to give it up DJ Squeaky, Zerk, Too Thick, DJ Spanish Fly. Just hearing all of that, a song aside from and along with the hip hop from New York and everything, every video they played on the box. You know what I'm saying? Hearing all that, but it wasn't until I heard DJ Paul 16, to where it was like, man, these cats from my city and they rapping, and that what really sparked it in me to dive into hip hop, because these cats is in my same hometown and I'm hearing this music, and it's just struck a match in me to get with it and get to it. So it's definitely an influence. And then of course just traveling, seeing more of the country, and being introduced to, like when I first heard about Slim Thug, and of course I get the comparison all the time, but real talk, he is an influence in my music and my sound as well.
Dope. Now, you said you also traveled the world, or you traveled the country, things like that. And I also seen that you were enlisted in the military. I believe you're in the U.S. Army. Are you still currently active in the Army?
So currently, I'm in the reserve now.
Okay.
Did 4.5 years active duty, Army. I met a lot of great cats, man. And really, that's when I actually really got into it as far as recording music. Like, I always rap, like in high school, middle school, we beat on the lunch tables and stuff like that. And we freestyle. My last year of high school, me and one of my homeboys, I remember it like yesterday, my guy Jerry Gardner. He do his own thing as well. And we skipped school to go record our first song. Yeah, man. And we went, we did that and knocked it down. And then once I got to Fort Hood, Texas, once again, that's where I was really introduced to DJ Screw and, Swisher House and, and all of that music. And I, got wind of Slim Thug, but it was some cats there that I met. My guy Hayes, that was out of Cali, my guy GA, and we went and recorded, some things down in Austin, Texas. And then my homeboy Mondesi, go by Burn Got Skills, my guy Jay Bird and Wiley Cat, and Burn Got was from New York, Flushing, Queens. What's up? And he had an SP 1200. He sampled Tupac's Ambitious as a Rider. And dude, we just went ham. And so I just kept at it from there.
Dope. Now, traveling the country and kind of seeing the world in a different view, how did that influence your music? Because you had a rich history out in Tennessee itself, but it didn't get a lot of the credit. In particular, when we start seeing hip hop really take it's staying on the mantle of being one of the greatest genres in the world and ever. You see the East Coast doing this thing, the West Coast doing this thing, and then when we heard about the South, it was Atlanta, it was Florida, but it wasn't too much Memphis, but y'all had a lot going on out there. So How did Memphis itself influence your sound, and what about Memphis in particular made you want to stick toward that sound in your hometown out of all the other genres of rap that you were hearing around the country?
Well, man, the thing about it for me, and that's a great question, and something I definitely been waiting to be able to say it, you know, myself, because Memphis is in the music industry as a whole a lot more than anybody even think or know, and we don't really get the credit. There's so many artists and writers that's been a part of really just the history of music alone. You know, just like I talk about, you know, soul music with Al Green, BB King being here. I remember just like when I first got back home off active duty, a friend of mine is one of BB King's granddaughters, and I went to the club, and he was on stage with Steven Seagal, you know, singing the blues. And it's just being enriched in that and around that, and it's in the city, and from just hearing that. And then my uncle, Trent D, used to go by Diamond D. He was a DJ, big time, major DJ in the city, and he introduced me to a lot of, you know, different styles of music and hip hop as well. But like I say, just hearing 3 6 Mafia, they had this club back in the day, 380 Bill, and they was doing live performances. And I went in there, and one day, Coops nigga was on stage performing, and just seeing that in action, you know, play out in front of me, the artists that were before me, that I've heard their music, and now I'm seeing them perform in front of me, and it just, you know, enriched me into the culture more and more. But you got, you know, producers such as Jazzy Faye that's from here. Yep. You know, you got Drummer Boy that's from here. Mm-hmm. You know, it's several Carlos Brody, July 6th. What's up? You know, that's in the hip hop scene, and it's more the name than just that. And I mean, you know, with Atlanta taking off, that whole crunk era. So rewind it, before the crunk era, Memphis had its own get buck movement.
Right.
And you hear a lot of that now with you know, it comes out now, and it's just, that was the movement that was before crunk. But with 3 6 Mafia touring, and Lil Jon, you know, being a part of the tour and being out there with him, he took it and went to Atlanta and, you know, bucked it up with the crunk music and started the crunk era, which I'm hearing and I'm like, man, that's nothing but Memphis.
Right.
It's nothing but Memphis. It really hurt me, because it's like, that's supposed to be us, you know. And then you had the era where we were bubbling. You know, you had the Rap Hustlers coming up. You had Mo Cheddar, which was DJ Squeaky, and of course, Hypnotized Mind, 3 6 Mafia, and they were really kind of going at each other, you know, for that throne. You know, so I think that separation kind of hurt us as well, because when you look at Atlanta and the unity that they had for one another and the collaborative, you know, efforts they put, that's why they, you know, they stood so firm on being a leader in the South once they really, you know, got out there and got that exposure. Even though it was, you know, always other acts and things of that nature going on.
Let me ask you this. This is a good time to segue into this. Obviously, we know we lost a real pioneer in hip hop. One of the youth, one of the pioneers and movement of the youth in hip hop. And that was Young Dolph. We lost him about a year ago or so now, and it really impacted hip hop, and in particular Memphis and Tennessee in general. But it makes me think about the violence that goes on in hip hop. And he passed away, unfortunately. He got gunned down in his home, somewhere where that shit shouldn't be happening. But he's not the only one that this happens to. This happens to people in hip hop around the world. They're home, they're giving back, they're doing good things, getting away from the shit that they were into in the past. And it seems like the past just continues to follow them, and unfortunately takes a lot of our good brothers' lives. So talk about how that diversity within, or not that diversity, that adversity within Memphis kind of, like you just said, takes away from Memphis as a whole, and how Young Dolph's death kind of affected y'all.
Oh man, with the adversity in the city, man, and the violence, and really, I hate to say it, man, you get individuals that's either they want their position or they just don't have the same work ethic that you may have, and jealousy, envy, comes into play. But with Dolph passing, me personally, it really hurt me, because of the fact that for me, anybody in the city that make it out, that's doing it in music, for me, I love it. I support it and I champion it. Whether, and I may not like your music or may not be into it as much, but I mean, in Young Dolph, I did enjoy his music and the songs that he did put out. But it's just, regardless, if you're from my city and you're doing something in the industry and the entertainment business, I'm gonna champion you regardless. But that's me. Unfortunately, all of us don't have that same, frame of mind to be there and in that space. But with the passing of Dolph, man, and the way that it happened, it definitely hurt the city because of the fact that he was positive. He was doing things for the community. It wasn't just, oh, he done blew up, he done left the city, and he don't even stop through Memphis. Or if he do, you don't know it now, man. When he's in the city, you're gonna see him, and that was one thing, he was visible. But not only that, he reached back and helped people in the community and just did for, Hamilton High School, which is, his alma mater, and just anybody that came into contact with him, man, he was a blessing to a lot of people, and then a symbol that, you can get it and you can do it and make it happen. But you got to go for it. You got to go hard for it if that's what you want.
Absolutely. Let me check 1 2 1 2. All right, so Crown, what I'm gonna do is, because it seems like when your mic is open, I get a little feedback. So I'm gonna mute your mic as I speak, and then once I stop speaking, I'll bring you back up. I think the feedback is clear now. Y'all let me know in the chat if we're good on the feedback. All right, so look, about to play some more music for my brother Crown Vega, but before we do, like I said, I got to meet this brother at an event called the Cookout. Actually got on the record with the brother. Now I'm sitting here thinking about, like, God damn, the one record I'm on, Crown's on that joint. I can't wait to hear it. But like I said, man, there's so much going on. So many rooms and so many different minds and such an array of talent that I watched Crown in particular go in each room and kind of adapt to the vibe that was going on. And it was very different in every room. You had hip hop going in one room. You had a different style of hip hop going on in another room. You had R&B, just straight R&B going on in another room. And you just see Crown vibing. And before you know it, he had a 16 or a 24 ready to go. And I really admired his versatility. Even though we hadn't really spoke, kind of just vibing a little bit, I admired your versatility on how it didn't matter what kind of record came on. You knew how to slide on it. You knew how to make it your own. You knew how to make it dope. So talk about that. Was that important to you when you started getting into the music thing, on being versatile in your raps, being able to get on all different varieties of music? Was that something in the plans for you?
Man, dude, you hit it right on the head, man. It was. So for me as an artist, my uncle introduced me to artists to every, many, like, from Cool Mo D, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim the God, hearing them, in their styles, then, Luda, T.I., and then coming up here now on Memphis artists. And so you have some artists that have that one particular style, and it's them. And I didn't want to be that artist. I wanted to be the artist that could rap on anything, no matter what type of beat it was, whether it was R&B, it could be bluegrass. If I feel it and I can vibe to it, I want to be able to write to it, because not only just as an artist, but as a songwriter too. I may get, noticed as an artist, as a rapper, but then somebody may come to me and, hey man, I like what you got going, I like your style, could you write something for me? So I want to be able to, and if you're boxed into one particular style, then it limits you, but when you can be versatile and rap on, different types of songs, or just write to any other type of song or style, or, the music period and other genre, that opens you up to, having more potential, more possibilities, and more capabilities. So when people listen to your music and they say, well, he sound the same on every song and he only do the same type of music, and then it stretches you, you want to be able to grow, and that's part of that growth and where you see yourself as an artist too. When you look at Luda, he did the R&B joints, he did the straight hip hop, and then he did the street records as well, and so I wanted to set myself on that type of level as well.
You definitely are, brother. You're doing your goddamn thing. We're about to play Brick House for the people real quick and then get into some more questions with my good brother Crown Vega here on Viral Hip Hop News Live. Hey, listen, if you're liking what you're hearing, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video, man. Let's get Crown Vega some love and support in the building right now. Also, once you hear the song, after the song is over, you will hear Crown Vega let you know where you can find all of his music. So I strongly implore the people in the building to go stream his music, follow him on YouTube. Let's support artists, man. And this is the way we do it. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear real music back in these streets. We want to hear real music back in our culture. We got to support the ones doing the real thing, man. So without further ado, we about to play the record Brick House with my good brother Crown Vega. Let's work.
I said she's a brick house. Ain't nothing but a make-believe. She's crushing wannabes. She's the definition of what a boss really needs. Shawty wants a boss to complete it all. Money ain't a thing because she's making her own.
Yeah.
Baby girl's a queen with a body like a dream. She put something on your mind and make you spend everything.
Yes, sir.
She's a brick house.
It's Crown Vega, baby. Kicking that down season. AKA Jessica Down. Get it right. Yeah.
She's crushing wannabes.
Crushing
She's the
wannabes.
definition of what a boss really needs.
I got a boss chick. No time to place to get intimate. Only a boss chick. No lanes allowed, honey, grown men. A boss chick. With a go-getter type mind frame. Full of rich, she don't entertain. Opposition of queen, chess guy. Take a look at Frida, cause she arty. Her body builder, she bought it. Wardrobe hitting like a target. Hopping out a price of wheel valet parking. Ain't got a bow, she knew her work. Got bang jazzy, but down to earth. Fit for a king like my Taylor shirt. You want her, she might pull your gritty first. Nah, she don't just cook and clean. She'll walk in wet dream. One hit and get hooked like a dope fiend. Certified to make a power team. If you got one, ain't no doubt. Steve Harvey know what I'm talking about. No minor, you gotta be a major league and strike out with a brick house.
Shawty wants a boss to complete it all. Money ain't a thing because she's making her own. Baby girl's a queen with a body like a dream. She put some on your mind and make you spend everything. She's a brick house. I said she's a brick house.
Crown Vega, what it do, baby?
Nothing but a make-believe.
Queen of Memphis in this bitch.
She's the definition of what a boss really needs.
I am, okay. Self-sufficient, I'm a definition. Queen of Memphis, ain't no competition. If you talking commas, nigga, I'ma listen. Ain't concerned, but nothing else you mention. I make my own, but I ain't gotta spin it. These hoes concerned if it's Lisa rented. If it is or not, you can never get it out. Drop the top and them porches spinning. Doing about 100, don't ever split it. Stay on fleek, looking gorgeous in it. I keep a man and they talking shit, so I'm still lit. Doing more than winning. Let no lie for my niggas, ain't none of them broke. Blowing this money and coming, it go. Many up with the plug, keep that on the low. If your club ain't poppin', you know I'ma go. Flight book, going to the next spot. These niggas like, damn, you the jackpot. Face flawless, body right, in a private suite, less money fight. Cause the fits look painted on. Damn, bitch, worry about a suit like me. That's why I'm about to drop a line. If it ain't on the rollie, I ain't got
Shawty wants
time.
a boss to complete it all. Money ain't a thing because she's making her own. Baby girl's a queen with a body like a dream. She put some on your mind and make you spend everything. She's a brick house. I said she's a brick house. Ain't nothing but a make-believe. She's crushing wannabes. She's the definition of what a boss really needs. Shawty wants a boss to complete it all. Money ain't a thing because she's making her own. Baby girl's a queen with a body like a dream. She put some on your mind and make you spend everything. She's a brick house. I said she's a brick house. Ain't nothing but a make-believe. She's crushing wannabes. She's the definition of what a boss really needs.
Yes. That was Brick House by my good brother Crown Vega. Brother, before we get on with the conversation, let them know. Hold on, let them know where they can find that single as well as all your other music, real quick, brother.
Yeah, for sure, man. So you can find everything, if you have a specific platform, you can go to www.crownvega.com It's my website, and it's an icon for whatever site that you use to stream music on. But if you go into whether it's YouTube, Google Play, Amazon, Crown Vega, and I will pull up. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter. It's Crown Vega as well. Everything is at Crown Vega. CROWNVEGA.
Dope. Now let's talk about the business real quick, man, because obviously the music is one thing, but the business is the most important and the biggest thing in this game right now. And obviously you're independent, but talk about your journey as an independent artist. Were you ever signed to a label? Did you ever get any contract offers? How did those work? Some of the things you learned in your journey as being an independent artist. Let us know right now, brother.
Yeah, for sure, man. Most definitely. Never been signed. I've been in talks with a few people here and there, but the thing about it, man, I self-educated myself. I purchased this book, this music, everything you need to know about the music business. Read through that, and in conversations or listening to interviews and watching documentaries, I would hear certain terms and certain words, such as the copyright, the publishing, the music licensing, and things of those terms. And I was the type, when I hear a word, something I'm not familiar with, I'm gonna look it up, and see what importance does it have, and how and how do I need to, how would it help me as far as the business. I took a few lumps because of the fact that when Memphis started bubbling, specifically around the time when you had, like I said, you had the rap hustlers when they got their deal with TVT. You had, and that was when Yo Gotti was actually with Kia Shine and whatnot. And then you had, like I said, Mo Cheddar, 3-6 were doing their thing. You had a lot of outsiders coming into the city and really like just trying to get what they can out of the city. I hate to, the front of it, but, somebody sponsored, fake sponsorships like it's part of the Source unsigned hype tour and, different showcases, and, you need to pay this money up front so you can perform. But you want me to pay up front to perform at open mics and things of that nature. And I understand, you got to get your bread, and it's a way to do it. But then at the same time, you never know who's solid and who really not. And there's so many that say that they are, but they're really not, And so I definitely had to educate myself, because I've heard the stories of artists getting, jacked out of everything and not knowing the business, especially, everybody know about, what TLC went through, when it came to them. So I definitely had to educate myself up on everything, every term that I could think of, and to at least be covered, to a certain extent, to where, of course, you still want to get a lawyer to represent you, because you don't really know the terminology, and they do. They went to school for it, and that's their thing. So, but for the most part, you definitely want to cover yourself as far as, the copyright, the publishing, and then once you start distributing your own music, you can start receiving those royalties, or, start getting that money from, the streams that you get.
Right. Now, one thing that I also admire about your music is how clean it is. Now, I'm a R&B singer. I've been in studios my entire life. I've heard very good mixed records. I've heard very fucked up mixed records. I've heard records that, can be from the most talented person in the world, but it's so sonically off that you can't hear it. It's all like the levels are all off. You got reverb here. You got the drums sitting high, or somebody done grabbed a beat from YouTube, and none of the instrumentals are mixed with the vocals. It just, you can tell the work isn't done thoroughly, and that takes away from the actual art, and that takes away from your ability to put these various songs on platforms, because there's certain criteria that these platforms need sonically in order for your music to get on there. So talk about that, the importance of being able to make sure your music was engineered and mixed properly. And I know that you say you do engineering and you are doing producing as well. So do you mix and master your own records, or do you take it to a new set of ears and let them do it? How does that work when it goes down to the mixing process?
So for me, starting out, I was actually going to my guy Hollywood JP studio, and I was recording a lot of music with him initially. And it was a funny thing. So with my dad, I'm the last on my dad's side. I'm the only child but my mom, but on my dad's side, I'm the last of 14. And so
God damn! Hold on. I don't like cutting people off. God damn! So if you was mama's baby daddy, shit, he didn't even remember your name.
Hey man, look, bro. Pops had fun. He lived a life, you know what I'm saying? So what happened when I moved back home after getting off active duty, I was in the reserve, and my first unit was in North Little Rock, Arkansas. So I'm talking to my dad and just kind of, telling him, hey, yeah, Pops, I'm back at the house, but I'm in the reserve now. My unit in Little Rock. He was like, oh man, you got a brother over there. I'm like, huh, sir? Like, yeah, you got a brother, your brother Melvin. He's over there in Little Rock. I give you your number, man. Give him give you his number. You should, call him when you get over there. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I hit him up and call him, and we started chopping it up. And just so happened, he's in the music as well. He had his own studio. He had a group of guys that he was working with. His guy Ripstar, Boca, and some other cats, and Tanner Smalls, and he had a studio in his house. And so with him, I go through, see what he got going on, let him hear what I was doing. And then he was like, dude, you right, man, you can do your own thing, man. You can build your own studio. So he got the ball rolling. And then years later, he ended up going to conservatory in Tempe, Arizona, to actually get certified as a studio recording engineer. And even though he was doing it, but he still wanted to get that certification. And for me, when it came to my music, you like you said, you hear the songs that, people say they rapping, you never heard of them, and you listen to their music, you get to the point where you expect it to not be of the quality it should be, or it sound like it was recorded in the bathroom, or
right.
They didn't have the best equipment, So me coming into the industry, I wanted my music to sound like the majors. I wanted it to have that clean, crisp, commercial sound. And so that's what I set myself. That was my goal. I don't want to sound like, the guy that's next door to me, or the cat down the street that I know that's trying and not really having that right sound. You hear quality music. You hear it, you buying the music. So that's how you should want your music to sound. And so, like I said, my brother, he kind of got me started with it. And from there, just the time and the hours I put into being a writer, I had that same passion for the mixing and the quality of the sound itself. And so, I'm self-taught, and I would sit in on sessions here and there, kind of, look over the shoulder of the engineer and see what they're doing and how they do certain things, and, what certain plugins they use. And then just started giving myself that knowledge. YouTube University was a help, but and talking to my brother, picking his brain, and sending out mixes. Hey man, can you check this out? Tell me what you think. I sent it to my brother, see what he thought about it, or I sent it to my guy JP, Hollywood JP, and see what he think about it. Or and one of the artists that I actually mixed and engineer for, before I actually became his engineer, I was sending him records. And just to get, his take on it and what he thought, and, how it sounded sonically. So doing that is what really, helped me hone my skills up until the point where I got to where, so Archangel was actually, before I started mixing for him, he was going through Vinny, which was one of French Montana's engineers. And he hit me up and was like, bro, I got Vinny working all on my new music. I got some old music I want to, put back out. Would you mind mixing it for me? I'm like, okay, cool, bet I'll do that. And so once he started getting those songs back from me, he hit me up and was like, bro, it's a wrap, man. You it, dog. You my homeboy, you my guy. Vinny do his thing, but I might as well, work with you because you my homeboy. And you giving me that same sound, like, dude, I see your growth. And with him seeing the growth on the mixing side, to give him that same quality that he was getting, from Vinny, I got his business, and he really more like family to me. So that let me know that, you know, I had that sound. And then when other people would hear my music, first thing they would ask, like, who you signed to? You know, so that let me know that I was at the level that I need to be at, and I'm doing the right thing.
Absolutely. Your music's very clean. It almost sounds like it's coming out of a major studio, and props to you for doing that, because it's not an easy craft to master. It's not an easy craft to accomplish, because patience and just having the work and wherewithal to be able to take that time, that minute time. It's easy. When you love music, it's easy to record a record. You can get in the studio booth and lose all fucking sense of time and just lose yourself because you're just so locked into what you're doing. But that's just a minuscule part of the record. Now you got to get in there and engineer it. Now you got to clean it up. It's so much more that goes into it. And that's the toughest part. And that's what actually makes the song. So anytime I hear your records, and I've been listening to it the last week or so, and then I got introduced to it in the Cookout, and been listening to your Cookout records, they all sound very, very clean, man. And I definitely appreciate that. So before we get into the networking portion of the interview, because I definitely want to talk about that. That is very important. I want to drop another one of your records right now for the people. We got some people in the building right now, so do me a favor. Go follow my brother Crown Vega on Instagram. Go follow my brother Crown Vega on Twitter. Go follow my brother Crown Vega on motherfucking YouTube. All major online music outlets, type in Crown Vega and stream this brother's music. We're about to play another one of his records before we get on with the interview. This song is titled Who I Am. You can find this joint on his YouTube platform as well as his Spotify, Google Play, and all major online outlets as well, I'm sure. But without further ado, let's get to the music. Let's do it.
Yeah, we got this jazz and blues track. Son, to make you bob and move your feet while I tell you something about myself. So check it out. Yeah, I like the trumpets and the snare too. Man, hey, give me the drums. Streets bred with a heart that pumps the shit, streets bleed. One of the realest, nothing about me is near make believe. Although to you I may be new, I am a vet in the game. Crown Vega's the name. Now how about you put that on your brain? The city is Memphis for anyone I know on my claim. And I'ma rip it till I die. Now put that on my name. I know I'm the man, so you need not to admit the same. With a flow that's so inside, composer's hard to maintain. I put so many imitators to the test food true. By skinning them from the rooter to the tutor to get to the proof. And once I'm through, the scraps are for whoever I choose. Changing rules and cocking tools in case that I must diffuse. Any figure that bumped his head and ready to get body bruised. Whether the hood or the suburb, education, the street, or political. Lost it verses with no chains and it still reaches your brain. With a flow more potent than I could Colombian cane. You heard the name was Crown, you did. It's in your interest not to try to forget. It's really best if you retire from this. You must be high if you think you can compete with me, you did. Who am I? It ain't a need to say it again. I know you figure straight up having a feed. You know I messed it up by making a hit. Cause I'm a Jesus flipping it straight out the streets to the beat. Ain't even close to being over, got the mind of an elder. Try to ask someone about me, they don't know what to tell you. If you get caught up for crossing, ain't nobody gonna help you. So I suggest it's best you cite protection of prayers. Man, I've been doing this damn near since I came out the womb. So ain't no rookie interfering on something he barely can do. I mean, I'm just so versatile, you think I was a chameleon. Switching up so when you thought you figured me out, you failing. Homie, don't start cause I'ma finish and end what you begin. So do not even think about trying to come and contend. When you see me, I'm with the homies that's keeping me street. Yeah, I show love, but best believe I'm quick to handle my beef. I want some beef and it provoked, I bust your head to the white meat. Man, you don't want to see Vegas straight heated. But when I'm easy, I'm probably with a bad breezy for season, sipping on apple martinis on vacation in Tahiti. Who am I? You heard the name is Crown, you did. It's in your interest not to try to forget. It's really best if you retire from this. You must be high if you think you can compete with me, you did. Who am I? It ain't a need to say it again. I know you figure straight up having a feed. You know I messed it up by making a hit. Cause I'm a Jesus flipping it straight out the streets to the bees. Yeah, it's Crown Vega, baby. Ripping this funk ass track like a soul move. Y'all ain't ready. Ha!
Who Am I by the good brother Crown Vega, man. Hearing a bunch of versatility this evening on this show. Viral hip hop news with my brother Crown Vega. Go tap in with his music. Go follow him on socials. We got the brother right here, man, and I'm happy to have him on. Hey, man, so I want to talk about real quick the power of networking. Now, you and I got introduced to one another, like I said, about 6 months ago now. I think I tapped into Clubhouse. I'm not sure exactly when you tapped into Clubhouse, but I got on there. A good friend of mine recommended. He's like, yo, why don't you get on here? It's a lot of good networking circles going on. Why don't you try it out? I'm like, nah, I heard of Clubhouse around the time of the pandemic when it started. I don't like the idea of sitting on my phone and staring at a bunch of circles and talking to motherfuckers. That's not my thing, right? It's not my thing. And then when I get on there and I hear a bunch of ripping and running and motherfuckers just arguing, I'm like, hell no, I don't want nothing to do with this. My man told me to get on there, hook me up with it was like an open mic joint with Mike Jones. I was one of the judges. I was introduced to D Bots. I was introduced to Rothstein. I was introduced to Aunt Jackie and found out that they had a room called Music Networking, No Egos. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all people. Once I got in there, it changed my life. Changed my life on a whole different perspective when it comes to networking music and understanding this business. So talk about that, man. Talk about your journey on Clubhouse, how you began networking, how you began getting into certain circles and promoting your brand and promoting your music, and how important music networking, No Egos, in that room in particular has been for you.
Bro, I'm definitely glad you asked this question and want me to expound on it. So I was actually invited to Clubhouse, when it first kind of jumped off by DJ Tony Davis. And big up to my guy, man. He definitely was a supporter of my album, like when I first released it and was promoting singles off of it and things of that nature. And ironically, at that time, I was kind of getting to where I wanted to really just take a back seat on the artistry of it and being an entertainer, and was just mixing for the artists that I knew to help them and help them get the sound that they wanted. And I got on Clubhouse at one time when it first started, and it was a lot of riffraff. You did have major celebrities and entertainers and influencers, and it was some networking going on, and I was hearing about it. But then you also had people that were using it for the negative. I went into one room, and matter of fact, that record, Who Am I? I showcased it in the record, and they slammed it, bro. Was like, dude, what you mean to tell me people love this song and you getting this played, and nah, this is trash, and whoop whoop whoop. And then this other young lady that was from Jackson, Tennessee, which is small town, but and she was trying to go in and supporting him, and that was just like just the negative. So I just like, what, if this what it's gonna be about, I'm off of here. And so time passed. My guy Archangel, he kind of lit a fire under me because he noticed that I wasn't really doing anything else as an artist, and I was just mixing and engineering. And so he kind of got on me like, bro, you dope, man. Like, you need to be heard. So I ended up getting back on Clubhouse. I was at that house in the studio working on a session. I was like, man, you know what? It's been a while, some time passed. And then something just told me to just hop on Clubhouse. And so the only room I actually got in was the networking, No Egos, music, TV, film, and video room. And that's I saw it. It was at the top, and I wasn't even, following anybody in the room, but someone just told me to, click on it and hop in and check it out. And at the time, and just trying to read the room and see how they were doing things, and I'm hearing them talking, and just the networking part, and they were playing music. So I'm like, all right, I see they playing music because that's cool, and they giving actual honest feedback, and they're being it's constructive criticism. They're not saying that, they're not trashing them and then going in. I'm like, dude, you whack, you trash, you need to quit rapping. No, it wasn't none of that. It was actually constructive criticism to help the artists, to tell them, what they need to do. Go back to the drawing board, try doing this, try doing that. Or if it was a good record, it was like, hey man, that's a good record, keep doing your thing. And then Bots, if he heard the record and he had saw more potential in it, he would tell them like, hey man, send me that record, or hit me up and I, follow me on IG and hit me up, man. We need to talk. I want to do something with that record. I can help you with it. And then so as it, and then they did after the music portion, then they did the networking. And so I would see how they would, people would do their 30 seconds. And so actually when they would do the 30 seconds, I would actually leave the room. Because it was like kind of like stage fright, like I don't know these folks, I don't know how to, how I need to do this. So I leave the room, before my name came up. But I kind of got the gist of it. And so I took the time to actually write out, what I was going to say. Like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this networking, it don't hurt. The room seeming positive. And so I'll pop back in and they'll start doing the Q&A. And so I wrote out my spiel, kept it short, sweet, to the point. And then, I stayed and waited around and just, felt the room out. And then I started, showcasing my music, actually submitting it, for Randy to play the music. And then do the network, and I give my spiel, and they'll go into the Q&A, and I would just listen and just kind of peep game, and just it's amazing, how they would do it effortlessly, just connect the dots. If somebody needs something or a certain service, oh, you see this dude, the PTR that's right above me, or to my left or to my right, you need to link up with them. They do this, that, and the third, or man, such and such not in the room right now, but keep coming to the room. When you see this person, I'm gonna put y'all together. And they would do that. If that person's in the room, they needed that service, and the next time they see that the person that they were referring to in the beginning is there now. Oh yeah, that's right. You see such and such. You need to tap on his icon, follow him, and and reach out to him. He can give you what you need and provide that. And then they had those in the room that were subject matter experts on the questions that were asked. And they were giving great information. They weren't trying to lead them down a rabbit hole or sell them something. And then it was no cash out. You know what I'm saying? Hit my cash out if you want this or if you want that. So just hearing that was like, man, okay, this is the room to be in. And so I actually got back on Clubhouse in February. I got back on Clubhouse, and that's when I found out about the room. And at the time, I was, doing working from the house. And then I heard Bots talk about the Cookout. And he was speaking about, they had just finished Dallas. They was getting ready for Atlanta. And so I was like, oh man, I need to try to go to this. They're gonna be in Atlanta. So once I got the dates, unfortunately I couldn't make it, but I was just, I looked into it. I went to Bots IG page, went to the Cookout, read up about the event, what it was about, and then just, constantly hearing them talking about it and explaining how it works. And then with the album that was out, the Cookout album was out, and they had, had the link at the top. So I pulled the link up, I listened through the songs, and I'm like, man, they did all this at this event. And I'm like, man, I missed last year, because that's when it started. So it was like, you know what? I have to take advantage of this, because this is something, even just to be there, just to see for yourself. And that way you can feel your way through to know if it's something you want to be a part of or not. It won't hurt. And then also to be able to put a name with a face or a voice with a face and meet them personally. Because, Clubhouse is great, but once you have that person-to-person, meeting and that vibe and that energy, and then you go from there. And so the first Cookout I went to, I missed Atlanta. I made it my business to go to LA, and they had the meet and greet that Wednesday. And I went in, introduced myself. Bot stood up. What's up, brother? Glad to meet you. And it was just welcoming. Everybody in there was welcoming. Everyone was, hey, what's going on? What's your name? Oh, for real? How you find out about the Cookout? And I'm telling them from Clubhouse. And then the next day we met up. We did the brunch, and that was another good icebreaker. And I got very well met Ali, and just because I remember seeing him from the icebreaker, and me and Ali started talking and how he was in film and video, living in Houston, from New Orleans, and just he and I, building a relationship and just talking. It's like, man, okay, these some good people. They're about the business. They're about taking care of business and doing good business. You know, they're not trying to, you know, mess you over. And so once we got to the cookout, to the actual studio, man, and I got in there, and I was in, you know, just checking it out at different rooms and seeing how it worked day one. Going in there with Rothstein, hearing his beats, I'm like, man, this dude dope. You know, now I go off in the Sean room and Misfit beats, and he playing dope beats. I'm like, okay, bet. And so at the time, it was, you know, the start, and Bots was getting set up, and he played a record when I was sitting in the hallway, and I'm hearing it. I'm like, oh man, it's on jam. So I go in the room, I'm bopping. I'm like, all right, Bots, I see what you got. And he called me out. He was like, all right, Crown, what you got, man? Let me hear some. I'm like, damn, for real like that? He was like, this the cookout. So I ended up writing to it. And so that ended up being the record Run It Up that's on the mixtape 2022, the Cookout mixtape 2022.
Yo, man, that story was inspiring as hell. I don't know the people that listen to that may have taken it the way I've taken it, but being in the room for the couple of months that I've been in there, and then actually going to a cookout and experiencing a cookout and watching you were so goddamn comfortable. You might as well have took off your shoes and sat on the couch. That might as well have been your motherfucking crib. As comfortable as you were going in and out of the rooms and adapting to the environments, you would have thought that you knew these people for years. And the fact that you got back on in February, you played your music in a room. They wasn't fucking with you. You stopped, you came back, you found Music Network, egos. They started building you up. You go to a cookout, you decide to invest in yourself because it ain't free, right? You invest in yourself and take that chance on yourself and end up, you know what I'm saying, really making it a very, very productive and positive experience for you and your music and getting to meet new people, man. That's very inspiring because I know when I went to the cookout, I went on my media side. Obviously, I run Viral Hip Hop News, but I'm also a musician. So I wanted to find out how I could mesh the two. And I'm not going to lie, it was a little bit because I'm a little bit of an introvert. I like to be by my motherfucking self. And when I'm in an environment like that, I'm usually around another group setting to where I know people and I'm comfortable to allow my personality to show in these various situations. Did not know how it was going to turn out. But the fact that everybody opened their door like it was family, like you said, we've been talking and seeing PTRs for months. But when we finally get around each other and see, oh shit, he's taller than I thought. Oh shit, he's cooler than I thought. It makes it different. It makes it feel like it's a lot more like a family environment. So when you do get in the studio, you go in there and you do your thing, man. I appreciate you sharing that, man, because like I said, watching you a little over a month ago in Charlotte and seeing you in the room, you'd have thought you knew these people for years, man. But that's a credit to the room and how comfortable they make you feel.
Yeah, man, that really is. And so, funny thing, man, honestly, in most cases, people think I'm shy and I don't talk, like, for real. Because I'm an introvert as well. But, I sit back and I observe and I just pay attention to peep game and really read the situation and what's going on. Most time, if I'm not with anybody I know has my back, then I'm just a fly on the wall. But for me, as being an artist and rapping and being amongst other artists in the industry and having that skill and already having music out and being trained up in a sense, I put those 10,000 hours in as an artist, but it's just that I wasn't getting the traction that I wanted at the time. So being around them, it was like, this is something different. It's a breath of fresh air because, real talk, man, the cookout is nothing like I've ever seen. I've been to the SCAs, the Ozone Awards, and when they have their different mixers and networking events and things of that nature. I've been to the DJ meets and stuff like that. And if you work it, yes, you definitely can, do some great things. But as far as on the creative side, I've never seen anything like this, and the fact that they put together an album that was doing, and it's doing numbers, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I have to see what this is about, and thankfully with me being comfortable with being around people, and then I'm 6'3", 225, so I ain't no little dude. So, I mean, you're going to see me. I can't just be quiet. Then I'm light skinned, so
I was out. Oh, go ahead, bro. My bad.
I'll go ahead.
I was surprised on how many motherfuckers I was looking eye to eye with. I'm not gonna lie. I know I'm a tall brother, and I'm like, I know people probably think I'm short. when I first saw you and I saw H. Lee, I'm like, God damn, these niggas as tall as me. Shit, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? And that's the dope thing about being able to have an event like that where you can chill with somebody, because we chill with each other 5 days, 6 days a week, every morning. And you don't realize how close you get to people, and then to get to see them in the flesh, it turns you into family, man. And I'm glad to have met you. I'm glad to keep building with you. I'm glad that you decided to come on the platform and share your story and share your music with my platform and me and my people. I'm thoroughly honored for you to do so. We're about to get to your last record right now, All Hell, the official video. Before we do, man, let the people know where they can find your music, your social media handles, and various things, man, before we get to the record.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. One thing also, like what you're saying there, man, with, like you say, hearing each other on Clubhouse, and you hearing the voice, and, you know, we talking and telling stories and just answering, you know, comment on the topics and things of that nature and giving our guidance and our feedback. You know, you get familiar. But really, to put that name and that PTR with a, you know, in-person meeting, it's like, you know, even with you, oh, you Sam, okay, man, what's up, man? You know, Crown Vega, you know, because you hear the voice and it's like, it must be Crown, you know.
Right.
And you don't know, you really don't know how the meeting is going to go, you know, because you don't know that person really, you know, that person's energy, because you have people that put on personas and they're fake, you know, and they really not who they really are. But that was not the case with, you know, meeting H. Lee. You know, like I said, even when I met Ali and Bots, Aunt Jackie, Rothstein, it's like, man, what's up, dude? You know, it's just like family, like you the homeboy, like you the homie, like you've been around, you know. But real talk, yo, for those that are, you know, looking for me and my music, you can go to, like I said, www.crownvega.com. My Twitter, you know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I'm at Crown Vega. My music is out on all streaming platforms, from, you know, YouTube Music, Google Play, iTunes, Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, wherever you stream is on there. And if it ain't, holler at me. I'll make sure you get there.
This man about his business, his brother's about his business, and that's why y'all need to tune in and fuck with him. And even if you're an aspiring artist, if you're somebody looking to get into the game, this ain't a bad brother to kind of look at and mirror your work ethic around, because, like I said during the interview, he's very versatile. I watched that firsthand. He knows how to slide on any record. He knows how to get in where he fits in. And I definitely appreciate how he goes about his business. So before we get up out of here, man, we're going to play the last record of the evening. It is called All Hell. It is the official video of Crown Vega. Let me get this joint queued on up. There we go. Boom. And we're going to get rocking. Let's go.
Say LC, I don't think they quite get it. Obviously, it ain't registered. We're gonna have to make it a little more clear for them. You hear me? The name Crown Vega, Memphis where I lay. Attitude, bustin' like a 12 gauge. Mind on switchblade. And no fuck giving about what anybody say. Got a mouthpiece of make a hooker by your own nana. I run shit like my name Barack Obama. Doper than the brick of soft white Colombiana. Now I'm here to chew this rap game up. I'm a piranha. I ain't the test you wanna take. It costing me for sure ain't the mistake you wanna make. Got enough tools to make the crew shake like an earthquake. And now I have them acting, but nah, this ain't your rave. Boss type self-made, brick paid my way. Thinking you can feel my shoes, can't even not a lay. Shine bright like chrome, ain't no taking my throne. Go ahead, imitate, but they can never last long. My greatest head to the king. They gon' either love me or hate. Hey, I'm still gonna do it my way. All hail to the king. I'm a boss, a leader in the fence. I stand alone, don't confuse me with the rest. All hail to the king. Yeah, don't need the jewels of the bling. It's my destiny to reign supreme. All hail to the king. All hail to the king. Yeah, my motivation is survival. Ain't no competition, now my only rival. You suffer stress off a title, my mind on something more vital. My focus on reaching greatness, ain't no time to rip it title. I'm out grinding like brake pads, won't give none earn what I had. My run game, a mad dash, no blocking me, I jump and grab. Wish, I'm Mr. Make It Happen, baby. I do this. It ain't no if and buts or maybes. But some of them hate it, but in that chick playlist, that is won't be downgraded. Clippers can't fade this. One of the greatest, often I am imitated. You consider violated, you be pushing up David. Hey, it's only boss moves allowed. Stacking, banking bad chicks getting loud. I know it seems like my head above the cloud, but it ain't from smoking the loud. Just the boss king, like they gon' either love me or hate. Hey, I'm still gonna do it my way. All hail to the king. I'm the boss, a leader in the flesh. I stand alone, don't confuse me with the rest. All hail to the king. Yeah, don't need the jewels or the bling. It's my destiny to reign supreme. All hail to the king. All hail to the king. They gon' either love me or hate. Hey, I'm still gonna do it my way. All hail to the king. I'm the boss, a leader in the flesh. I stand alone, don't confuse me with the rest. All hail to the king. Yeah, don't need the jewels or the bling. It's my destiny to reign supreme. All hail to the king. All hail to the king.
Oh, hell to the king. That motherfucker right there make you want to throw another plate on that motherfucker. Like, you got, let me throw the 315 on there, man. Fucking throw that record on. Let me see what I can do in this shit real quick. Let me get 3 in these motherfucker real quick. That's my shit, bro. All hail to the king by my brother Crown Vega. You can find that on his YouTube platform, on all music streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, YouTube Music, you name it. It's on there. And like the brother said before the video, if it ain't on there, holla at him. And it'll get on there, man. We're about to conclude the interview with my brother Crown Vega. Definitely appreciate your time. Definitely appreciate the people who have tapped in. For those of you who are watching this not live and having to tap in after the live stream, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this video, and most importantly, go check out my brother's music. Go support him on his various social media platforms and let him know Viral Hip Hop News sent you, man. But Crown, I appreciate your time, brother. I appreciate chopping it up with you. Can't wait to chop it up and bust it up with you some more. But before we get out of here, man, I'm going to leave the floor to you, excuse me. Let the people know again where they can find you. Closing remarks, man. The floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, man. Like I said, once again, I'm at www.crownvega.com. On Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Crown Vega. And then, like I said, my music is on all streaming platforms so it's out there. You go to my website, and there should be an icon on there for you to actually, get to the stream of music from your site. I also have a SoundCloud playlist where you can just, listen through the songs through there as well. I'm also on Audio Mac too. But one thing I definitely want to say is, the industry, the business side of it makes it sour at times. So definitely educate yourself on it, and, don't let the influences or the words of others that's negative, keep you from wanting to really pursue your talent, whatever it is, whether it's being able to draw or sketch or do it yourself, making custom, t-shirts or doing custom shoes. I mean, whatever it is you have a passion to do, make time for it and pursue it, but at the same time, try to educate yourself as much as you can and do the work. The thing about it, it's not going to fall in your lap, and God will bless you, but you got to meet him halfway.
Indeed, man. Definitely appreciate you, brother. Definitely appreciate your words of wisdom. Definitely appreciate you sharing your story with my platform and the people on Viral Hip Hop News. Like I said, man, please tap in with this brother, man. He has dope music, has a dope story, and he's doing it the right way. Is investing in himself as an independent artist, and goddamn it, he's gonna get a return on those investments, man. But about to get up out of here, SamAnt, CEO of the brand Viral Hip Hop News, got my brother Crown Vega on the platform. Go show him some love. Hey, man, much love to you. I'll tap in with you Monday, man, and I appreciate you, brother. Take care.
For sure, man. I appreciate that opportunity with you, man. I definitely appreciate this, and had a great time, man. Chat and chop it up with you, bro.
Anytime, brother. All mine. And we could do it again. Do it again. Oh shit, hold on. We could do it again anytime you want, man. Appreciate you, my man. Take care. In the building, man. SamAnt just had a dope ass interview with my brother Crown Vega. Listen, if you are an artist, if you are an independent entrepreneur, if you have a brand, if you have music that you want to promote here live on Viral Hip Hop News, tap in with me, SamAnt at vhiphopnews.com. That is SamAnt at vhiphopnews.com. Let me let you know there is a small fee involved with coming on the platform, but it is an investment. You're not just paying me just to come on here and yada yada yada. It's an investment. YouTube monetizes content. I monetize my content. But when I have these people, when I have these artists on Artist Spotlight, I leave that monetization button off and I allow the artist to play their music so that it can get streamed as well. You feel what I'm saying? If you know your business and you've taken care of your business all the way, these 1,000, 2,000, 800, whatever the case may be, views that may not seem like much, but in the grander scheme of things, you just got 800, 1,000, 1,200, whatever the case may be, extra streams added to your music. Invest in yourself, and the investment will come back to you tenfold if you do it the right way. So if you want to be spotlighted on the platform like my brother Crown Vega just did, like my man Trig the Optimist did before that, like my good brother Ali, like my good brother Sean Misfit Beats, like my good brother Rothstein, like my good brother Dot Gita, if you want to come on the platform and be promoted and hear your music and chop it up with your boy SamAnt, tap in with me, SamAnt at vhiphopnews.com. We're about to get up out of here, man, on this beautiful Sunday evening. More content on the way for you. I know we just did this live, but stay tuned because I got more content coming through the chamber very, very soon. But until then, SamAnt, CEO of the brand, I love y'all. Love yourselves. We out of here. Peace.